Sorry, we're just reeling because Zach has a note that says Homelander's getting theory, and neither of us can figure out what that's meant to mean.
It was from episode 1, but...
I don't remember Homelander theory in episode
1. If it was good enough, it'll hit me.
Yeah, you're going to go, I remember what I meant to say, theological.
It'll be something like totally...
Hi, welcome to Film Defib, where we go through every Boys episode for season 4. Yeah, real fan. So, in case you didn't notice, episodes 1, 2, and 3 launched on the same day. I think let's just dive into it with our overall thoughts. We've watched all 3 episodes. Why don't you start, Zach?
Why don't you start? I feel like it's lost so much steam. It was nearly... all 3 episodes, I found myself like halfway through. I'd like flick up my controller and see how long's left, and be like, "Oh, there's still 20 minutes left."
I did this in episode 1 and 2. Episode 1, I remember, it was about 40 minutes in, and I was like, "Cool, this must have been like over an hour." And I looked and realized it was only 40 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, good, there's still like 25 minutes left." Woo.
The only time I'm happy is when Homelander's on screen, because Anthony Stark is just, he's incredible.
But you felt that during season 3 as well, didn't you?
Yeah, but like, that is starting to, even he's not holding it up to as much anymore. Like, I'm like, yeah, he's really good, but...
My biggest problem is that they knew the story they wanted to tell with season 1 and most of season 2, I think. And now every character's just kind of lost their own thread. They keep adding new problems onto them, but like they don't feel like justified. Like you take MM for example. What's his character motivation this season? To beat the superheroes? Why? Because his daughter doesn't like Homelander? Because, I mean, that got resolved in episode 2. The whole plot thread from season 3 is done now. Don't worry about it.
I mean, yeah, season 1, he was kind of like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Now he's like the lead.
Now he's the lead.
For some reason.
You've got the whole...
I've got, like, it's kind of like... Season 1 was like the boys versus, like, the suits.
Yeah.
Season 2 was like the boys versus suits.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 was the boys versus suits. And then we're doing it again, and it's like... It's a bit like, you know, The Following?
Yes. Oh my god, what a...
Yeah.
Whew, wow.
When, like, the bad guy was awesome, you're like, oh, them two have a rivalry, and then you have the fight again, and again, and again, and you're like... So in, like, Flash, with Reverse Flash as well, where he just keeps... And in the end, you're like, I can't use something else. Like, there's only so many times you can have normal people fight the suits, and, I mean, how Homelander hasn't just got bored and been like, you know what, you guys are annoying me, and just lasers them.
This is one of the biggest problems and the downfalls of this show is how little threat Homelander poses to the main characters. I felt like definitely during season 1 until the very end where he just decided to let Butcher go. For some reason.
Because it's in his character to let people live, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's done it several times now, so I'm starting to believe it. He was a threat. It's like, if you get caught on the wrong side, he will just kill you. There is one character that gets hurt out of the boys. One singular character that gets any meaningful damage. And it just so happens to be the one that can't be killed. She gets shot. She gets her arms broken. She falls out of a building. Thank God it's not Huey that's doing that. And that just makes
she was
this
taking
worse.
on the whole building, and no one... When I don't even know what his name is. When her friend who was having those...
Frenchie.
Frenchie, that's it. When he was like just walking backwards, does anyone want to shoot him?
No. Oh, and again, she got shot in the face the episode before, like, point blank in the head, and died.
That was something I was going to bring up. From as soon as she fell and hit the floor, I'm like, I get they've got powers. There has to be limits.
Not even the bad guys can die properly. There is no real consequence to this. And the whole point of the show is meant to be these superheroes can't keep getting away with it, but they can because there's no consequences to anything. You've got like the Splinter, this character they introduced. Splitter, the guy that clones himself.
Mm.
Now they killed him. Done, because he's not important. But Firecracker was in the same room. But they can't kill her yet because she's important to the plot. You know, like even though they had the same reason to kill her as they did him, but she got away.
She ran away.
And like,
I was gonna say that was actually because I was gonna bring that up later, but I feel like I might, as you've come onto that scene.
Sorry, this is gonna be messy because the 3 episodes are blended in my head.
Well, like obviously they were trying to tail the cleverest girl in the world.
Cleverest person in the world.
Yeah, sorry. She knew, and it was a trap.
Mm.
I mean, for the cleverest person in the world, you know, maybe bring more than 2 people with it. It's like, ha, we caught you with Firecracker and one guy who can duplicate. Do you want to, like, I don't know, make sure you kill them?
I mean, there was more than 2 people. He made loads of clones of himself.
I mean, could he not have made more of himself before he walked in the room?
Maybe there's an upper limit.
Is there?
I don't know. Maybe there would have been more clones in that sauna room if there wasn't an upper limit.
I feel like if she was you'd be like, I'm bringing everyone here. But then she walked out of the room and it's like, oh, cool.
Personally, I would have tipped Homelander off, but there we go.
It might have been, oh no, he was busy, like...
He was busy...
sorting his grey hairs out. With his midlife crisis.
There's no real movement. We haven't moved in the plot since season 1.
No.
Every
season's got to stand on its own, and it hasn't.
Yeah. I can differentiate them.
Every end of season has basically put us back to the start of the season. Like now, A-Train's now turning?
A-Train's now turning.
I mean, he's just suddenly got a conscience.
Butcher's gonna die.
He won't die.
He's probably not gonna die.
He won't.
Or it'll be the last episode next season and it'll be all dramatic. Boys thinks it can get rid of good writing and just impress you with shock value.
Yeah, it likes to be edgy.
But it's when you do this for 4 seasons, it's not really edgy anymore. When you got the ice skating scene, and I'm looking at it, and I said, all the actors are going to die. And I was like, I don't really know how. Either he's going to like cut when he was shooting the lasers, or it's going to fall on them, which actually would have been better.
Yeah, he lasered one, and then like
he lasered one, and then
panicked, and
they had like the sharpest ice skates on in the world, and just like you're supposed to...
The guy who went over the board and had his leg right up here. I've never seen anyone get over a board like that.
You're not an ice skater. There's some ballerina stuff there.
And how fast you want to bring your foot up?
He was panicking, alright? But like the point is, you're supposed to go, oh my god, but like after 4 seasons, you're like...
That was a fire incident.
Yeah. But I didn't care. And I know I'm already desensitized or whatever, but I remember season 1, I was like, ooh, sometimes, you know. Now it's just expected. Homelander, there is nothing stopping Homelander in terms of character or power of just going to the boys' HQ and just killing them.
Yeah, I know. He knows where they are. Is he, like I said, after he was like, oh, that smells like Huey, it's like, I mean, you must know his dad's in hospital.
Yeah.
Just go kill him.
I mean, he probably doesn't know his dad's in hospital. I don't know why Homelander would give a shit. But
he could find out he could find him quite easily.
He could end all of them.
Yeah.
I thought that's why they were doing the superpowery thing from last season, to kind of level it. And then they were like, oh no, this is going to kill us. And then they stopped.
Why would you, I just don't know, why would you keep them alive?
Because it's the exact same reason. It's the same problem from the last episode of season 1. They don't know. The writers have never thought of... They have no idea what to do when they have Homelander and Butcher square off. 1-to-1. They don't know. Every single time they put themselves in a situation, they've gone, oh, fuck.
Even when they were talking, like, and then Homelander's like, oh, we can't have our last dance. Like, yeah, because Human versus Homelander was a really interesting battle every time.
It's kind of like putting Batman versus Superman, but Batman isn't Batman, and he's just a British guy.
To give some positive stuff, I mean, the shot with Homelander in the mirror with 4 Homelanders. I like that.
But you're just going on about how cool Anthony Starr is again.
Yeah, but I've got to say some positive stuff.
I know, but he's great.
That was cool.
Cool. You want to do positives? Oh, God. You're going to ask me to do all the positives to episode 1 to 3.
Name 3 positives.
Oh, no, because even that's a negative. I remember they did the little fighting game Mortal Kombat parody.
That's pretty cool.
And I liked it, and I thought, how cool would it be to play as Homelander? And I stopped. I was like, oh yeah, you can. Why would Bookshot own a games console? I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, why would Bookshot own a games console? What? Not only a game console, but one owned by Vought as well. Why would he have access to this system? Obviously, they never bring it up. But can you see him sitting in his house being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck these cunts up. I main Homelander, don't you know? Like, no, what?
I was surprised he even went along with the fact that he was going to drug the son.
Well, again, this is one of those moments where they want to try and make you think that the old Butcher would do that, even though I don't think he ever would. And the fact that he didn't show some growth, but the point is, he hasn't grown. This isn't Baby Reindeer. The character not growing isn't a good thing. He hasn't moved in 4 seasons. His only difference now is that he's going to die in a bit.
Which he won't.
Which he won't.
I'll be shocked if he dies. Not super shocked, but I mean, I would be pretty shocked.
I mean, if he dies through natural causes, this show's dreadful. You're going to kill him off anyway, and you're not going to get Homelander to actually do it. Like, are you joking me? This is the problem. He hasn't killed any of the boys. Not one boy has died in 4 seasons against the superheroes. That's ridiculous. That's awful.
There's no like...
Even they haven't really killed any of the 7 outside of the first. They were more useful in the first season than they ever have been since. But it goes to the last season where, at the end of the season, all the boys are alive, Homelander's alive, Soldier Boy's alive, and even Maeve, who jumped out of a window and got nuked, is also alive. No, there is no threat in this show. The show about the superhero murderers. But this is the thing, is that they want to shock people. But in terms of, like, storytelling, this is the least shocking plot beats I've ever seen in my life. They just think throwing some gore up and having people get their heads stomped is going to shock anyone after 4 seasons. And that's their whole gimmick.
Yeah, it's just gore.
They're just like, oh, look, this guy's rimming himself at 9 times. Like, that's the shock we're meant to get. And yeah, that scene was really uncomfortable, but that's all you've got. You've got, like, the scene in the last season where he shrinks down and goes inside someone's penis, you know? That's all this show is. It's just pulp and shock value. And that's fine if that's not your only thing. And that's all The Boys is now. Do you know how shocking season 1 was? It wasn't really that bad, in retrospect. It's just become, like, a meme of itself at this point.
Like, are we getting, like, little... all the boys have a side mission. Like,
yeah.
You know, he's got his dad and his mum. Like...
He said the side mission. That's called character stories.
Character story. I mean, Starlight doesn't, but then...
Well, she does, because she's leading this, like, anti-culture thing.
That's basically her main story. Then you've got... Frankie and his
Frenchie
and his
boyfriend
who he murdered his family, which I don't know. I mean, if anyone actually watches it, if you want to put in the comments if we actually saw that, because I don't know, I can't remember if we
that's another one of those things.
If we saw that, or if that's just like in the background.
It's definitely written that we're meant to know who this person is, but even I was also like, do we know this? Is this just trauma? I don't know.
And then obviously the girl, she's got her back, and then we've got the main guy who he doesn't have a side at the moment. Yeah, he's just kind of
Well, he got a lot of screen time last time. I guess his time is he's leading now in Butcher's stead, but that's not a really.
I mean, when Butcher came up to him, was like, "I'm dying," like, and like I just want to get right. I'm surprised he was like, "It's too late."
I do. It's like this idea of they're kind of parried in American politics right now with the far right and the far left, with Homelander sort of being a stand-in for Trump, right, and Starlight being like a stand-in for that far left that's anti to that, right? And that's a cool idea. It's not really doing much with it. It's not interesting enough. Like it's like this is a cool idea, and it's like, what are you going to do with it? And they go, what's the idea not enough?
We planted it.
It's the idea not enough. It's like, well, no. Is that going to be the whole premise of the show? Is it going to be as surface level as it seems now, where it's just like pot shots both ways? You know, they try to do like I thought they were going to do like a mass shooting thing, and then Frenchie just took the gun. It's the consequences. There's no consequences to this. I think the writers are just scared. This is my advice for a show that wants to be edgy and shock value and have all this gore. Be shocking in the way you tell your story. Do something people don't expect. kill Huey randomly in the middle of a
He's
scene.
got a lot of importance to the show.
You know? What's shocking to me, they've got Simon Pegg back to just lay in bed. That's shocking. I didn't expect that. I'm like, oh, because he hasn't been in this in season 1, right?
No, he's been there. Now and
He
again.
definitely wasn't last season.
He like pops in every now and again.
I remember seeing him for a while. But the point was, I was like, oh, Peggy's back. And he's just laying there.
So what would you...
Easiest payday.
What would you give, like, either like the episodes as a collective?
I can't rate the episodes individually because I watched them so close together, so they kind of are just one long 3-hour movie. My problem is, and this is the most offensive thing, The Boys is not good. Not season 4. It's not good. Those 3 episodes aren't good. They're also not bad. This is the most 5 out of 10 thing I've seen. That's my thing. It's 5 out of 10. Because it's...
That's actually the first time we're going to have the same ratings, because I was going to give it 5 out of 10 as well.
What is there to say? It's repeating the stuff it's already done. It's lost its shock value. It's got, like, no meaningful plot hooks that are getting me, at least.
I'm very excited for the next, like, 4 podcasts.
We can't talk about the action, because, like, what does The Boys do well? What's a standout feature? Gore and sex scenes? Just trying to push the envelope. Because they've pushed the envelope. They can't push it any further. Cutting people's fingers off ice skates isn't going to cut it, you know? In season 1, they shot down an aeroplane full of people. That wasn't gory or horrific, but that is shocking. You're like, I can't believe they've just done this. You know? That's what we need. Not ice skaters getting cut in half. It's things that are meaningful to the plot. That's what real shock value is. I can't believe they've done this. Not, oh, look, you know, oh, he's rimming himself. We will see you next week.
Join us next week.
When we talk about episode 4.
Yes.
Which is Homelander's Homecoming.
Yes.
Oh, final note. Homeboy is a brilliant name for Homelander's son. That's the most credit I'll give for that. I did laugh. If you like The Boys, just... you know, agree or disagree, let us know, because I would be interested what's keeping you watching. Because, you know, it's worn out on me. It's like a flame at the end of its wick to me. I'm glad there's only one more season to go, because it's stretched on too far.
I'll end it on my note of Homelander is theory. I don't know what I mean by that, but Homelander is theory.
Homelander is theory.
Have a good week.
See you next time.